So, so, like I mentioned, this is an introduction to the SharePoint platform, and we're just going to do a quick introduction and overview of the um, of the platform, as well as key traits and features. We may not go into how to create pages and add content just yet, because, like Emmanuel talked about, um, the Teams site has a bit of issues, and our SharePoint is connected to Teams at the moment. I'll go through some tips and best practices, as well as some do's and don'ts. Again, we might not be able to go through navigating the SharePoint platform just yet. So yeah. Um, Okay, so just a very quick intro, very, very fast whistle stop tour of SharePoint, really. It's a web based collaboration platform that is a Microsoft product. So it was developed by Microsoft. In fact, most offices use SharePoint now as part of their repository for documents and a hub where the team can collaborate. And so now it's almost like, to Google something. It's almost like to go and SharePoint something or do something on SharePoint. Some applications that are very similar to SharePoint that are not SharePoint still use it almost like now, but it's a web-based collaborative site. It's actually a website that most organizations use to as a repository for their documents. So you have where you have a SharePoint site where that is permission based or role based, where members of staff can collaborate, store their documents, manage their documents within that site. It's like a website, an intranet, so it's organization based. It's not public. It's within the organization, but within that organization, it looks and feels like a website. So people can store documents, they can edit documents, get approvals on the documents. Teams have access to the same documents. I'm sure if you've worked on some projects before, when someone shares a document to you, you have to like download it, and then maybe have to track changes, and then you now have to upload it somewhere, and then someone else has to download it, and all that. SharePoint has changed all of that. Now, when you store a document onto SharePoint, you can open it within SharePoint and edit it there. Other people can have access to that document while you're working on it. They can collaborate and collectively edit or work on that document. And SharePoint keeps a track of who does what on the document. It saves it automatically. So once you've saved it back, it will tell you who worked on it, what they've done, all those sorts of things. So it's really, really has enhanced collaboration tremendously, So yeah, like I said, it's a repository. So it's like a documents library. So people store all kinds of documents on there, and it's available to people within the team or across the whole business. So again, it's a hub where content is shared. It looks and feels like a website. People can chat. The FAQ, just think of any kind of collaborative tool. You can design your own SharePoint site to look the way you want it to look. And it's because it's a Microsoft product, you can integrate it with anything, with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, name it, all the productivity documents. Like I said, ours is even connected to Teams. So although it's a website on its own, Outlook, all of that. So it's tremendously versatile, and most businesses use it now. Just as an aside, there's this quote by Steve Jobs that says, "Great things in business are not done by one person, they're done by a team of people." And SharePoint makes that possible. So rather than one or two people having access to one thing, everyone who is within a team can have access to that particular document and work on it. And it makes it tremendously easy to work on documentation. And not just that, it's not just a work site. People can share news, they can share updates. It's literally whatever you want to make it. And the way it is, I wish we could show it to you. I'm sure we will eventually, but you can design the way you want. If you want a space where people can share motivation, jokes, news, articles is there, frequently asked questions, documents. You can make your site anything you want it to be. And that's really enhanced collaboration. So again, some of the key traits and features are that it's a document management and collaboration site. So I just talked about this centralized document library. You can imagine coming onto a project and you're asking people, can I have this? Can I have that? That doesn't happen anymore. When people put all their documents on SharePoint, all they need to do is add you to that SharePoint site, and you have access to all the documents in that, in that project, and it makes it so easy. And as people are editing and adding and, amending, updating, you have access to all of that, which is real-time authoring. Version control, I absolutely love, because with version control, it means that every time someone saves a document, there is a version of it saved. So if, for example, I work on a document and I save it today, tomorrow Emmanuel picks up that document and he works on it, it'll save it as Emmanuel's document. So if I want to go back to the one I saved yesterday, I can look through version control and I can see all the different versions, and I can pick my version and it will bring it up for me, removing any updates that have happened after that. So that means that there is a freedom to do things because you can't break it. If Emmanuel, for example, deletes something, and it's like, oh, I made a mistake. I didn't know I was supposed to delete that thing. I'll just tell him it's fine. I'll go back to the last saved document that had that thing in it and I'll pull it up. So people you're free to explore or do what you want on it because you can't break it, so it's really awesome that way. I've talked about it being customizable. Almost every SharePoint site is different because it's customizable. It comes with templates, yes, so you can start building yours from scratch. It will give you like a blank page, and you can add different parts, the header, the footer, all those sorts of things, or it can give you a pre-populated templates, and you can start building on that. So it has many different templates depending on what site you want. If your team is communication, there's probably one for you. If there's a team that is mainly financial, it will populate that for you. Maybe you're in marketing or sales, it populates all that for you. So it really, you can customize your work site to suit your team and make it the way you want. If you don't like it tomorrow, you can always change it. Nothing is, permanent. It's you can update it and all of that. Then there's workflow automation, which is brilliant. Again, it's a Microsoft site. And the thing that is brilliant about Microsoft is that they make all their products talk to each other. You can integrate all their products. So right now, the Power Platform, I don't know how many of you have heard about the Power Platform, but with the Power Platform, you can automate things, so you can integrate that with SharePoint. That means that there are some things that people do on a regular basis that it can automate. For example, if Olaume usually approves a document for me and I want to know when Olaume approves a document, I can create an automated process. So whenever Olaume approves, I'll tell her this document needs your approval, and she approves it, and I get a notification that Olaume has approved that document, and then I'm able to go back and work on it. So I don't have to keep asking her, oh, have you approved the document? It will notify me, it will alert me. So that's something Power Automate does. It's awesome. There are loads of different functionalities. Same thing with, like I said, approval processes and all of that. So things that are manual processes, it can automate it for you, and it does it really easily, and it takes that load off you. So it frees you to have more time to do other things. Then there's security and permissions. So even within the same organization, remember I talked about different teams having different sites. So the way we're going to do it now is Bravo is going to have its own SharePoint site. Dynamic is going to have its own SharePoint site. Sometimes in organizations, the financial aspects of that organization need to be secure. So even though I'm within the organization and I'm not part of the finance team, I won't have access to the finance document. It could be on SharePoint. Someone can even send me the link. But once I click on that link, it'll tell me you don't have the permission to have access to this documentation. You need to request access because you don't have permission. And if I'm not in the position to request access, even if I do, they'll just deny it. So the fact that something is on a SharePoint site does not mean that everybody in that organization has access to it. If your role permits you, for example, I have a financial a role in the financial unit, and that permits me access to the role, then it will give me that access. Otherwise, if I'm in marketing, I won't have access to the financial um, um, the documents in the financial side. So even though you're within the organization, it still keeps, secure. It still has that security and permission control. So that's really important as well. I just said, this just says it's very versatile, and it helps because a lot of times all these units are very siloed. You can be working and you won't really know what the other person is working on. And to be able to get what that person is working on, you have to ask them, wait for them to send it to you. This time, that removes all of that. The person uploads it onto SharePoint, and everyone in the team has access to it, and everyone is able to edit it at the same time. It's really game changing. So again, because of the fact that we can't show you real sites, I just basically took because all the different teams within Read Icons, within the advanced group, we all have SharePoint sites, and everyone has customized it the way they want. So it would have been really nice to show you some of those examples, but because I can't, I just took some sites off the internet. Again, these are some templates. Some of them are built from scratch. You can literally make it the way you want. You can have a calendar, you can have your documents library, you can have your org structure, the organogram there, you can have events, just name it, FAQ, comments, whatever it is you want. Microsoft has made it easy, and it's drag and drop. It's so easy. You don't need to know how to develop to create yours. You can literally drag and drop. It makes it so easy. You open the section and you select the web part you want. Do you want the part for news? Do you want the part for text? Do you want the part for images? Whatever you want, it's made it very easy for you to be able to have access to it. So it's really cool. Let me try and be fast because time. This is the other what do they call it? Another quote that I think is very relevant, because technology should bring people together. It should not keep people in their, different silos. Like a lot of us are on our phones, are singular screens, so you can be in the same room with someone, but you're isolated. But SharePoint brings people together, so it literally takes you. You can be in a different office, but all of you are collaborating on one site, and you're all talking at the same time. And so it's an awesome tool. Then again, because I'm not really able to show it to you, I just wanted to, talk through some of the different features. So when you're creating a page in SharePoint, you have to think about what you want to put on your site. What are the different elements you want to put there? How do you want to organize it? How do you want to make it in such a way that it's easy for people to work? Again, that word collaboration, it's so important. Collaborate within your team. So that should always be, in the background of your mind if you're in the position to create a page. Now, the caveat of that is that not everyone creates a page. Most of the time, if you get into an organization, they'll just give you access to SharePoint. You may not even know how it's been created. But one of the things I really loved about being in Blue Sky is that we get to see behind the curtain. You get to see how the soup is made. So in an organization, they'll just give you access, and you just have access. You just go to SharePoint and you're seeing everything there. But here in Blue Sky, you can actually see the process of creating it. So when you're talking about the fact that you understand SharePoint, you put it on your CV and you're like, I've worked in SharePoint, you can talk about it knowledgeably because you actually know how it works behind the scenes. And you may not be the one to create a page, but if you know how to do it, or your experience in that, it really, really helps. So I just want to just give a little peek into that. Really, like I said, you can start from a blank page, or you can use a template. Microsoft, again, makes things easy for you. It looks, if no one tells you that you're not, in fact, it is a website. That's what it is. So it looks like a website. It feels like a website. You can have your header, your footer, all the different elements there as well. You customize it. You can add your text. You can take away text. It's so easy. Add images, add media. It's connected to YouTube, stream. You have your videos, audio files, all of that. Now, the part that is used to customize all these different aspects on a SharePoint page is called a web part. So it has SharePoint has a whole list of different web parts. Do you want to add text? That's a web part. There's a web part for text. Do you want to add images, multiple images? Maybe you want to have a gallery of images, like all these images where you click and it's just scrolling. There's a web part for that. Do you want to maybe share the weather of your city, or maybe you work in a global organization and you guys have multiple offices in different cities, Tokyo, New York, London, and you want to put weather of all these different places? You can just think about any normal web, as anything you can see on a website, you can incorporate it onto SharePoint. It's that easy to do. You can, arrange the layout the way you want it. And obviously it's very easy to preview and then save changes, so that's really cool. Then some tips and best practice. The first one is to use clear naming conventions. Now, I've seen people that have access to SharePoint, but they don't really know how to use it. Like, SharePoint is best if you organize it. So if, for example, you have BAs, QAs, DAs, SMs, rather than everyone just chucking documents on there, you can create folders to say, these are all the BA folders, these are all the QA folders, these are all the SM folders, these folders are for training, these folders are for presentations, these folders are for all the tasks we need to do, these folders are for our reports. So you have a naming convention, and even when you open the folder, you can have different versions. When you're working in an organization, you have different versions. Maybe the first version is called V01, version 01. The next one is called V02. Now, it's not one person that decides to do it. You guys as a team agree that this is our naming convention. This is how we're going to arrange our folder so things are easy to find. Imagine if you have a team of 10 people and people are generating maybe 4 documents and they're all up there. How will you be able to find the one you want? You have to be able to organize it and make sure that it's easy to find. So don't just throw things onto SharePoint and just think, oh, I've put it on SharePoint. Then, that's it. You need to be able to organize it properly so it's easy to use. Again, I've talked about version control. Leverage it. It is so important. Use it to your advantage. Set proper permissions. So you have to make sure that only the people that are permitted to use or view your documents are able to view it. So you have to set those permissions, and then obviously use document libraries and encourage collaboration. That is so important. I think the word I've used the most in this presentation is collaboration. And that's because SharePoint is synonymous to collaboration. But I've seen people, they have documents and they don't put it on SharePoint. And they're like, I'll email you the document. No, don't email the document. Put it on SharePoint so everyone can see it. The reason we're in an agile project is because, or Scrum, is because there's transparency. That's one of the principles. There's openness. If you're emailing documents to 1 or 2 people, that's not open. That's not transparent. Put it in a place where everyone has access to it. And then when you want to edit it, don't download it and edit it and upload it again. Open it within SharePoint. Edit it within SharePoint. Save it. You don't even have to save it. It will save automatically. So even though people have access to SharePoint, sometimes it's difficult for them to use it. Even in organizations, you get people that are, in their personal folders, they have all the project documents. Like, oh, can you send me this I'll send it to you. No, save it on SharePoint so everybody can use it, so we can all have access to it. So always encourage collaboration. If you notice that you have SharePoint, we're going to give you access to a SharePoint page. The last set before you, we don't really have time, but the last set before you enjoy, because they got to design their own. I don't know that you'd have that opportunity, but you'll still have access to it. But learn it as much as you can, put it on your CV, use it, talk about it, and it will increase your marketability that much more, so always, like I said, encourage collaboration. So I've talked about organizing your content. Please do that. Use all the different features. I can't go through everything. I literally just have 45 minutes or less, so I can't go through all the features, but please go and find out about SharePoint. It is such a versatile tool. And there are people that are literally, I'll get to talk to that later, but the more you know and are comfortable with it and are able to say you know it, please do so. Make it pronounced on your CV. Very quick line of my personal testimony. One of the questions I was asked was because I said I know how to use SharePoint, and they talked to me about data migration. And in talking to me, I told them that I actually was able to talk about it intelligently. And like I said, it was one of the questions during my interview, and I got the job. So you don't underestimate the power of the tools, because there are a lot of people who are out there that don't know SharePoint, but they know it's important and they know it's very vital to the organization, but they don't know how to use it. So please, learn about the features and use them. I've talked about collaboration. If you find your team member is not really using it, ask them to put it on there so all of you can work on it together. Don't overload the folders. Don't create one folder, then chuck everything in there. Organize it, if you find that many different types of document in one folder, create another one and then move all the files there. So, it's very easy to manage and navigate. And don't be afraid of exploring. Like I said, you can't break anything on SharePoint, whether you're designing it or you're using it. So don't be afraid. Last, you delete a document, you go and get it back from version control. You can't delete it. You can't. It's not possible. Do you understand? So don't be afraid of clicking things and finding out how they work. It's a lovely tool. You'll enjoy it tremendously. Like I talked about again, because it's Microsoft, and Microsoft is the giant of the corporate world, everything goes with SharePoint. Teams, OneDrive, I mean, as they're creating new applications and it's hot in the market, they are integrating it to their existing documents. So SharePoint is literally, you can use it with everything, and not just Microsoft owned applications, YouTube, Zoom, just name it. SharePoint works very well with it. So when I say it's good with collaboration, I mean it. I don't know of anything that doesn't go well with it. There might be, but most of the things we know and use work very, very well with SharePoint. Again, these are some benefits. It's in very, very, very high demand. It's one of the ones that people may not know, but they know they want to know it. So if they know you know it, they want you, whether you're a QA or a BA or whoever, or SharePoint, it's a plus in any column when you're interviewing. Loads of different diverse opportunities, boosting your technical competency. It helps you with automation and workflow management, increases productivity, and our favorite word, collaboration. You can customize it, develop it. Security and compliance, those people are happy. Project management is fantastic with project management. Every project I've been on has its own SharePoint folder. So it's so easy. You're literally you want to do some work and you want to catch up. You go through all the folders and you see the SharePoint folder of the project you want, and you go in there and you see the document you want and you're good. So it's very important. I went online just to get a glimpse of some of the different roles and the different, jobs. So you're seeing 500 QA jobs and, Scrum Master jobs and BA jobs. And this is just the jobs that have SharePoint in their title. If you're just going for a BA job and you say you have SharePoint knowledge, it boosts, it puts you above and beyond people that don't, honestly. So don't overestimate how important that is. I hope I'm still within time, but if you guys have any questions, if I still have time and you guys have any questions, let me know. I was supposed to leave some time for demo, but we're not able to do that now. So, but if you have any questions you want to ask, anything you want clarity on, please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. got my address.
Oh, please go ahead. I can't.
Okay, please. Are
Let
we
me.
going to be working with this SharePoint?
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that?
I said, are we going to be working with the SharePoint?
Yes. So I might be mistaken, and please, if I am, Dejo, the admin, please keep me honest. But apparently, going to have a SharePoint site. Your team is going to have a SharePoint site, and that's where you're going to put all your project related documents. Where
Okay.
we're going to tell you some of what you need to put in there. So the
Okay.
BAs will have their own folder, QAs will have their own folder. All your demos and project reports every 2 weeks you'll have your project report. All those reports should be stored in there. Tasks and assignments, all those things should be stored in there. BA documents, you guys are going to create process maps. QAs are going to create test cases. Scrum Masters are going to create the project charter. So whatever it is you generate as part of your tasks, it should be saved in there. The team should learn how to collaborate within SharePoint. So, sometimes
Okay.
you want to do your demo, you put a template on the Telegram and say all QAs populated. Don't do that. Save the template onto SharePoint and get everyone to add their own slides on SharePoint. So everyone's looking at it and they can see, who has done what and all of that. So I know it's new, but again, that's why we talked about encouraging and inviting collaboration. We're going
Okay,
to
so
set it up for you and make it available to you, and then you
okay.
guys will use it.
So does that mean, if we start using this SharePoint, we won't be using Telegram again to communicate?
You
Everything
shouldn't,
goes
because
to SharePoint.
yes, no professional. Remember, one of the things we promised that you learn here is professionalism. No
Okay.
organization uses Telegram to communicate
Okay,
professionally.
that's
They
fine.
use Teams, they use SharePoint, they use those are the main things they use to collaborate.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
ideally,
Okay.
as a project team, you should actually use those
Okay.
and get used to using them, so you can talk about how easy it is to use
All
them,
right.
because that
Okay.
shows how at
Thank
ease you are
you.
with those tools.
Okay,
You're
if I
One
welcome.
may,
more question. So how do we?
sorry, 1 minute. If
Okay.
I may add to that, yeah, on no occasion should you put Telegram on your CV as well, right? The, the,
Oh,
the reason why we
okay.
are using Telegram is like if you ask someone to start using Teams and they are new, I know some people are here, they are very, very new in IT, they don't know, but Telegram they might have used because some of them have used WhatsApp and everything. So that's where we start from that, right? To do the onboarding, right? The same
Okay.
way we are using Zoom now, right? And you've been told that as time goes on, we will close down Teams. Everybody will start using Teams because that's the professional platform. So for it to be easy for everybody, we start from what you know, right? And then we'll move into how it's been done. So we'll move away from Zoom completely and Telegram also completely. Your communication should be in Teams, right? So and also in SharePoint. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Please. I hope I'm not asking stupid question. So this SharePoint now, how are we going to bring in Azure DevOps to it?
Okay, I can answer that if that's okay. And it's okay, Adeze, there's nothing like stupid questions. Please go ahead and ask what you need to know. Again, SharePoint integrates with everything. And Azure DevOps is a Microsoft product. So even the ones that are not even Microsoft products, SharePoint integrates with it. So there's absolutely no problem with integrating SharePoint with Azure DevOps. In fact, we're going to share the things you should put into your SharePoint page or portal, and one of them is a link to Azure DevOps. So
Okay.
on your SharePoint page, you should literally have a link that will take you to your Azure DevOps
Okay. Oh, wow.
platform as well. So you use both, but SharePoint integrates with everything. So it's going to be fine. There's no problem with
That's
that.
cool. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you. Then I think I'm done. Allow me, if no one has any other question. We'll do a demo for you and do our best to work behind the scenes to prepare your SharePoint pages. Thank you.